You can't.
Welcome back to the 210 show. Today we got a pretty good pod for y'all. We're going to cover a couple different topics. One we're going to cover is the stupid tax and the NFL matchups and predictions, as well as like awards and weight to season. But Hater with Facts is going to take care of that. Whoopix, so he's going to be getting the college football recap, and then Angry Joey is going to handle the Micah Parsons fiasco. Tony's bets and whatever else he wants to talk about. And that's it. So I'm going to turn it over to Whoopix Sui. Take it away.
All right. So we want to give a quick recap of the first week of college football. So Texas, Ohio State. Ohio State beat Texas 14-7. Alabama, Florida State. Florida State beat Alabama 31-17. Miami beat Notre Dame 27-24 in a nail biter. And then I want to give a special shout out, even though they weren't nail biters. Michigan versus New Mexico. Michigan beat New Mexico 34-17. And then Arkansas versus Alabama A&M. We beat them 52-7. So as far as Texas, Ohio State goes, the big thing that I think went wrong was, first of all, Ohio State was supposed to win that game. But Texas lost it primarily because Arch Manning didn't live up to expectations. He was 17 of 30 in passing, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 39 rushing yards. But 37% of his throws were off target. That's the highest of any Texas quarterback in the past decade. And he went 0 of 5 on throws that were over 5 yards. So the young superstar that's supposed to be the next phenom in the NFL did not live up to expectations in his first game. So past that, I mean, they only lost by 1 touchdown. Texas's defense looked legit. OSU looked legit as well. It was honestly a pretty fantastic game when you look at from a defensive standpoint, but definitely disappointing on the Texas front for Arch Manning. Alabama, Florida State, there's nothing to be said other than the fact that Alabama got its butts kicked by Florida State. That was a surprise. The big thing was that Florida State just ran all over Alabama. Yeah. They had 230 rushing yards against Alabama, and they just couldn't stop the run. Next one would be Miami, Notre Dame. Miami 27, Notre Dame 24. That was a close game, and I'll leave that up to Angry Joey to talk about if he wants to later on. And then a special shout out, Michigan versus New Mexico. We have Hater with Facts here. I have to be, fair and balanced. They had a good game. Freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood, he threw for 251 yards and a touchdown, which set a freshman debut record. And then Justin Hayes ran for 159 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. So along with that, Michigan's defense forced 3 turnovers. So It was impressive showing for Michigan. And then my beloved Hogs, we played a cupcake, but we did beat them 52-7. And our quarterback went 24 of 31 for 322 yards and 6 passing touchdowns, which is a record for Arkansas Razorbacks. So shout out to all the teams that won, and I'll leave it up to the group. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about?
I just want to say, how are you leaving out LSU Clemson? That was impressive.
It was. LSU was able to prove that once and for all that they have Death Valley, not Clemson. So
that made my heart hurt. I can't stand LSU, man. I hate them with a passion just because of their coach.
But he needed that win, and I get it, Joey, but that was impressive.
It was.
All of a sudden, Nussmeier is the favorite for the Heisman. He was impressive. He's looking like the number 1 overall pick already. They surprised me. On this pod, I predicted Clemson to win and to win the national championship, so I'm already eating mud.
Yeah, that could be one of the biggest wins. I mean, if it wasn't for Ohio State, Texas, and the Miami Notre Dame game,
there was a lot of surprises this last weekend.
LSU Clemson was one of those ones because LSU had to go into Clemson Where they're quote unquote Death Valley, though they're the fake Death Valley.
Team Death Valley.
Yeah, the team of Death Valley. They still went in there and took care of business. So you're right. That was an impressive win, but I'm with some of the other people on the podcast. I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly.
I don't know of too many people outside of, well, hell, even most LSU fans or people don't even like him all that much.
LSU people
I like him a little more today.
Well, yeah, you got,
Not by
you got a
much.
W, but I mean, so yeah, that was a hell of a win by LSU. There's no denying it. I mean, I was like you. I thought that Clemson was going to be very, very competitive this year, and I think they still will be. It's first game. It's the first game. The Notre Dame and Miami game. Oh man, that broke my heart. I mean, it would have, if it wasn't for what's his name, C.J. Daniels making that Odell Beckham catch in the last few minutes of the game.
That was a ridiculous catch.
Unbelievable. I mean, it was one of those ones where I was just watching it going, no way that just happened. I mean, yeah, I mean,
that'll be on
what
his
can you say
highlight
about
reel
it?
when he's in the draft.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that was such an impressive catch. I mean, you can't help but admire it. Yeah, it was against my Notre Dame, but hey, what do? You can't stop great plays like that. There's just no defense for it.
Yeah. And I've said this earlier, but it's going to hurt my soul to say it, but I think Freeman is the right coach for y'all finally.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And
I mean,
y'all lost a lot of talent to the draft last year as well.
We did. Yes, we
And,
did.
looked
Freeman,
like
he's going to be good.
But again,
Well, he is great.
fair and balanced, right? Got to try to be fair and balanced.
I do not like Notre Dame, but I really, really do like their coach.
It's hard not to like him. I mean, the guy, he should have gone to the pros list this year.
Well, wait. Didn't they want to run him out of town in week 1 when he lost that game to Penn State? Remember that? Was it 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. Because they lost that game and they were trying to run him out of town, but the
Freeman?
players rallied around him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player's coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a modern day Mike Tomlin. Just one of those coaches that you love to root for.
Yeah.
Even though you hate the team, I mean, he's still just, there's just great coaches out there. And I mean, they lucked out with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do think he's a fantastic coach.
And
I hope
coaching
they
matters.
keep a hold of him,
Especially in college football. Coaching
I mean,
matters.
contrast him with a Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I hated Brian Kelly. It doesn't matter how successful he was. Because you can't argue that Brian Kelly isn't good at his job. I just dislike him
personally. Me too.
Yeah, he's just an awful human being. Like I said in another podcast, when he left Notre Dame in the middle of the playoffs, who does that, man?
What about with that player? I remember was it 2 pods ago where I talked about?
Oh yeah, the guy that got permanent damage.
And he just cut off communications with this young man.
Yep.
He's not a good person.
Yeah, he's just a horrible man in general. But right now. It looks like they're in 3rd place though. That's wild.
So
but shout out to Miami and Clemson, who will be SEC schools before too long.
So do you want to know a crazy cool stat though for the Ohio State-Texas game? According to Fox Sports, it was one of the most watched college football game in history. So,
which one?
Ohio State-Texas.
Oh yeah, for week 1, I don't know of a bigger matchup for week 1 than that game.
So one of the props that I want to give Hater with facts and Jay here is the fact that you actually called it right. And I think that Ohio State actually took it to heart, when you said that Texas going into this game was ranked ahead of them.
Right.
I mean, I guess they clearly use that as fuel.
Absolutely. But they were underdogs. I mean, if you look at the betting lines, I mean, going into the shoe,
but
week 1 with a brand new quarterback, they were expecting. I think the line was around 7 points.
Well, tell the beat writers that because they
they're going to do that. But Ohio State was the favorite.
But if you look,
we knew they were going
to. And if you look, the reason that Texas lost was because of Arch Manning. Everything else on that team was set up to be competitive in that game. Yeah. It was just Arch Manning fell shot. Now, was that because of his first game jitters?
It's got to be, man.
Or is that because he's not going to,
No, it has nothing to do with Arch. So did he play great? No. Dude, you're talking about going into Ohio State week 1 with all that pressure, playing against the best secondary in the country, and it's not even close. And of course, I mean, who's going to look great in that situation?
But as I said,
he's going to be fine.
Yeah, 37% of his throws were off target.
Don't care.
And it was apparent. Sorry, it was apparent that several of his throws were where he had wide open receivers, he just underthrew them or overthrew them.
Okay.
Do you think that
Don't care.
Do you think that it would have made any difference whatsoever if they would have actually played him in, like, say, week 3 as opposed to week 1?
I mean, that's the hope, right? That he'll settle down.
Well, no, because I
Can't
mean,
do that.
my point is that if they would have actually played him a little bit later in the season, then Texas might have actually had a couple of wins under them,
Who
gotten
are
their
you gonna-
confidence up.
Dude, you can't do that. Just let him. It's not like, I mean, come on. It's Arch Maine. Just throw him in there. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. Everybody has him. He'll
I agree.
be totally fine.
I agree, but I'm just saying, would have been a different outcome if he actually would have gotten a game to boost his confidence a little bit.
I think so.
I think so, too.
I mean, is that a fair assumption?
No,
No,
it is.
It's terrible.
No.
Because college football doesn't have, they don't have preseason.
Right.
So yeah, and what usually happens early on in a college football season is the defense gels much quicker than the offense does.
Just like NFL. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you'll notice it was a slow or a low scoring game. Is
Defensive
because
game.
defense on Texas and OSU are
Legit, man.
top 3 probably in the country. So it was a defensive struggle, and your young phenom just didn't live up to the moment, I think.
But there was some bright moments, man. He did have some flashes, in my opinion.
The one
He
touchdown
did better
pass
in
he
the
had.
fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That was a
When it
beautiful
counted,
throw.
he had that
Yeah.
nice drive.
Yeah.
You know.
So, let him figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be quick to pull him and yank him. I mean, let him take
No,
his lumps.
He's not going to play Ohio State every week, guys. You
No.
know, like, come on.
Well,
No, they got
he
some
probably
cupcakes
shouldn't
the
play
next 3
He
weeks.
shouldn't play a defense like that again until he hits the playoffs.
Well, wait
And
a minute.
I said early on that more than likely, even Georgia. I don't think Georgia's defense is anywhere near those 2 defenses. So more than likely, what I said before is that I think both of those teams are going to be in the playoffs, and there's a good likelihood they'll play each other again. So I could see both teams going undefeated the rest of the season. They're both really good.
That's a good point, but let me finish that crazy cool stat. So I got to hear. According to FoxSports.com, the Texas versus Ohio State game attracted over 16.6 million viewers on Fox, making it the most watched Week 1 college football game ever, and the 3rd most watched on the network. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's good.
But a couple of points though too. I had to go back and look at the research to make sure I got it right. But there was a story that came out before the season started that Ohio State wanted to move the game. I thought it was from week 1 to week 2, but in actuality, they wanted to move it from noon to prime time. They wanted to move it to a night game.
I wish it was. I would have went and watched the whole damn thing.
And Texas said no.
Well, I don't blame them. Who wants to play at night in the U? I mean, that's like playing at night in Death Valley, like at LSU. There's certain stadiums that have a reputation at night. You don't want to give the fan base 6 hours to get drunk before, you know what I mean? Like those noon games, people are still just buzzed versus flat out drunk. It's a whole different atmosphere.
I understand that, and I get that point. I just what makes me upset about the Big Ten as a whole is they're so fixated about big noon kickoff, and I'm like, you can't have these premier games happening at noon. Those matchups just scream primetime, man.
Yeah,
You got to have those, man.
I get it. It was nice that it was the first game that opened the season. Like it started college football with a banger right off the bat.
And it wasn't a neutral site game either.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
No.
Hey,
And I think if the Clemson LSU game wasn't late, they may have had a case. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it would have been moved.
Yeah.
so let me ask you a question on this one. So LSU, do they think that they could ride this to a possible playoff appearance, or do you think it's going to crash and
No.
burn along the way? Like, is
No.
it like false hope? You know
my
what I'm saying?
It is false hope.
Yeah, my instinct is to say it is, but that quarterback is legit, and that defense looked really, really good against a really good offense.
Yes, but it's also Brian Kelly.
So interesting little tidbit. The last time that LSU won a primetime opener like this was 2019 during the Joe Burrow season when they won the national championship. So they've lost like 5 of them out,
But they also
after
had
that.
Jamar Chase,
So I'm just saying, like last time they won their opener on a big game like this, they won the whole thing. So I'm not saying
Kelly
LSU's
needed an
going
opener.
to.
Let me be real clear about this, and I'm gonna put this out here right now. There will be nothing that will irk my soul more, because I've already seen this last year with Ryan Day. If Brian Kelly somehow ends up being a national champion, Lord help me. Lord help me.
Even as an SEC homer, I would agree with you. I do not like Brian Kelly. The last thing I want is LSU to win a chip as Brian Kelly, the head coach. I don't mind LSU winning a chip. I don't want Brian Kelly to win a chip. So,
well, now I'm going to root for him just to watch you two guys.
that'd be one of the few. It would be one of the few times me and
Oh, fuck you, Tony.
It would be one of the few times me and Hater of Facts would agree with each other. We would.
Ooh, epic pod.
But you know what though? But here's the crazy part, right? Even with the SEC schedule as it is, I'm looking at LSU's schedule, and their toughest game, I think, of the entire schedule is 2 weeks against Florida, but it's a home game for them.
Actually, I don't think Florida's that good. Do they not play? They play A&M, right?
Huh?
They play A&M.
No, this weekend? No, they played.
No, LSU. I thought you said. Are you not talking about LSU?
Yeah. What'd I say?
Their toughest game's Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the schedule because
Over
That's
A&M.
impossible.
huh?
Over A&M.
No, what I'm saying, LSU's schedule, their schedule for the year, to me, looking at it, their toughest team that they have to play is Florida.
Do they have to play A&M or
No.
Georgia?
Oh yes, they do play Texas A&M.
Okay, yeah, I was listening.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
They play Texas A&M. They play Alabama. They play South Carolina. They play Ole Miss, and they also play
Those are
Arkansas
Ole
too.
Miss is going to
But,
be a tough game.
I don't know, dude. I think it's possible. I hate to say it. I really
I think
hate to say
A&M will be their toughest game.
it.
Well, I
It
mean,
is.
I'm glad
South
you brought.
Carolina,
But
though.
But it's a home. It's a home game for them too.
we
Texas A&M.
can't talk about A&M without mentioning our UTSA Roadrunners. I thought they had it there for a little while. You know, they
I know, super
competed
excited.
for a quarter or two.
2 quarters, man. We were in it.
Yeah, we were, and then all of a sudden, what's his name? Henry Jr. went off. 16 carries, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it was like, no, enough of this.
Murked us, but their quarterback, what's his name? What does that say? Reed, 289 yards, 4 tutties. They just
All right. Hey, we knew we were going to lose, but they gave him a run for the money
They
for a little
did.
bit. I was proud of them.
they did. Me too.
Well, it's kind of the same thing that happened to them last year when they played Texas last year. And I was like, Quinn Ewers did his thing for the first half, and then Arch Manning came in the second half and decided to run him out the building. So it's just like,
Crazy.
Crazy
stuff.
Hey, shout out to UTSA. They tried their
Such is
best.
life
Yeah.
Yep.
for you.
Keep plugging away, UTSA.
So-
And brave for them for actually going up against a higher conference.
Yeah,
higher conference.
exactly.
They're not afraid, and I appreciate that.
So that's pretty much my my college football recap. The only thing I wanted to end it on was this is just a call back to our NIL discussion before. This is an example from Arkansas. I didn't know this before, but Arkansas, we lost 42 players to the transfer portal last year.
Dang.
42?
42 players. We had 34 players transfer in from the transfer portal this year, along with another 24 freshmen. So about 70 to 75% of our team were brand new this year.
Dang.
Yeah. So we were talking about the troubles with the transfer portal and NIL. You have a bad year, it can be devastating to a team losing players. Now, we had the money to buy new players, and arguably our team's better now than it was before, but still losing 42 players to the portal in a single year, that's devastating.
That's a lot of players.
We've got to fix it. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out because I didn't even know that until this year, until this week.
Anything else on this topic before we transition over to?
Yes. Just real quick, we cannot leave this topic without talking about Bill Belichick and that embarrassment that they put on TV.
I was happy to see that.
Oh,
I shouldn't say that, but I was
my
happy
God.
to see that.
I mean, what was it, 41-7? 41-14, I believe, I think.
48, 14.
40, yeah, 40-something. A lot versus very little. How about that? I mean,
I saw a funny meme though on that. The fact that I can't remember what the score was, but basically the score was an indictment of what his wife's birthday was versus his.
Oh my God.
He lost by more points than there is the age gap between him and his
No,
girlfriend.
it was the exact age gap.
Oh, was it? Oh,
it was
that's
the
funny.
exact age gap.
Lord.
Hey, do you think the coaches in the other team did that on purpose?
I
If
don't
they
know.
did, that'd be epic trolling, man.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Sounds like
they-
he's the last one laughing, though.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man.
He's gonna have to power through that one.
That's just weird, man. The whole situation is just so freaking weird.
Man, he got money. You know, he could put when you got money, age don't matter.
That would make sense if like he was a control freak for her, but it seems like it's the opposite.
He
Like
like that
she's
shit.
control. It's an odd
Well,
dynamic.
Let's get back to the
I don't-
football.
yeah,
You know, I mean
thank you.
that was pretty embarrassing. You're talking about a Hall of Fame coach,
Yeah.
you know, that just got his ass whipped
badly
in
front of everybody. But okay, anything else on that? You have anything? Good. Okay, so
Big Suey.
let's just transfer it to my left, and we'll work our way around for the rest of the topic. So Micah Parsons, want to talk about?
If anybody that's listening to this is from Texas, boy, we've been seeing the backlash over this one. You know, I mean, there's some pissed off people about you know, the Micah Parsons fiasco. You know, and in case you're living under a rock, you know, Micah Parsons, generational talent, actually just got traded to Green Bay for 2 first-round picks and another player, just a body.
I disagree. That player is a really good player. He's made 2 or 3 straight Pro Bowls.
Yeah, but isn't he old?
it's the
He's
NFL.
like-
Pro Bowls don't mean as much.
He's in the
Look at
tail
his
end of
numbers,
career.
though, man. I actually looked into it. His numbers are pretty good for a defensive
So
tackle.
here's the thing.
Here's my question: was he an alternate in a Pro Bowl?
I don't know. I have to look at that. I don't
Okay,
think so.
That matters. But go ahead.
So here's the thing. You know, I try to walk a lot of people that are Cowboy fans off the cliff on this one.
Boy,
First
they're
of
going
all,
through it. Sorry, Dallas.
sorry. Well, here's the thing. You know, I mean, and I think it really matters because, I mean, Philadelphia, they're going to punish them this weekend or on Thursday, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't see a way ahead for Dallas right now. But here's the other thing. I didn't see a way ahead for them to begin with in this year.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, so we don't know what the dynamic was with Micah and Jerry Jones or anything like that. Because, I mean, I know that living in San Antonio, a lot of people are calling for Jerry Jones's head. You know, they are just really fed up with him for a million reasons. You know, they could have signed him. You know, they kind of did the same thing that they did with Zeke. You know, they just waited too long to actually sign him or pull the trigger. You know, and here we are. Now he's on another team. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Green Bay play Dallas this year?
Week 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
must see.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I
Can't wait.
don't know how you trade.
But the thing is, okay, so I think that the biggest problem that I would have with it if I was a Dallas fan, now, well, obviously because it's Micah Parsons, I just don't think that if they were going to trade him, they needed to ask for a hell of a lot more than 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
You know, that would be about the only thing. But here's the other thing. Do you honestly think that Dallas was going to win even with him?
No.
I mean, we already
No.
did our rankings. Some of us were actually even tossing around the idea of, last place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's pretty damn.
Lock it in.
I don't know how you
And-
cannot.
And the thing about it, too, is those 2 first-round picks from Green Bay, let's be real, Green Bay's a playoff team.
Exactly.
So you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to be picking in the top 10.
Exactly.
But anything can happen. I understand.
Right.
So essentially, you traded him for would it equate to a second-round pick, pretty much 2 second-round picks?
Possibly. I mean, if you have that much faith in Green Bay, because I mean, let's not forget they are going to be playing against Detroit twice and Minnesota twice.
True.
Is one of those picks aren't theirs though, right? One of their picks was
Who?
I thought.
No, they're both theirs.
Aren't
Yeah.
they both theirs?
Yeah, they're
I
both
thought
Green Bay's.
I thought one of the other
Yeah.
picks were from someone from
You
the
just
team.
you just don't do that. I guess the best equation would be is like you trading Reggie White.
Okay, so
You know what I mean?
Let me just kind of try to quantify it. Being a big Bronco fan and whatnot, what would I do or think if the Broncos traded Pat Surtain? I would lose my shit. You know, I mean, you saw these YouTube videos of people actually throwing their TVs across the room, burning jerseys. They actually have jersey sales with Dallas Cowboy Parsons jerseys.
Mhm.
And
Hey,
you
They're
can't
50% off
it-
right now.
Look.
if I was a Cowboy fan, I wouldn't buy it. You couldn't give it to me.
Yeah, I can relate. Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
When that trade happened, Raiders Nation was livid. They lost their freaking minds.
Yeah.
So I can understand the Cowboys fans. You don't trade a player like that.
Yeah, you just don't. So I don't know what the dynamic was behind all that, or what led up to it. Or if it was just Jerry doing Jerry things.
Nico was still in all the spotlight. You had to do something.
No, because probably, but knowing Jerry. But what I read something on the airplane to Cancun where Jerry and Micah had an agreement months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like it was a cheap deal. It was a significant deal. They had an agreement.
Didn't Green Bay actually sign him for pretty much the same amount of money that Dallas was actually signing him for?
Yeah.
$3 million more.
$3 million more?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was
I thought
it?
so.
48, 47?
So that's why I say,
It's 46 and a half.
Where was the
like
disconnect?
officially, but
What was the disconnect then? I don't understand.
Because
I got it. I know what it is.
Okay.
So when the supposed agreement was made, the problem was now this is based on what Micah said. Micah said that the initial meeting that he had with Jerry was about leadership. And the conversation went from leadership to money. Once that conversation happened, Micah said, go talk to my agent, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Well, that conversation never happened because in Jerry's mind, he's like, I just made the deal with you and that's it. No further discussions need to be made. That's why in all the interviews that Jerry Jones did, he kept referring to his agent, David Mulligetta, as the agent or the third party and all these other disrespectful things, because in his mind, I already made the deal. I'm the owner, so what are we talking about? Which is part of the problem and why I didn't understand why the NFLPA didn't
So essentially,
sue his butt.
it was Jerry Jones's hubris that got in the way.
Well,
100%.
hold on. I'm going to push back on that a little bit.
Sure.
So, okay, let's think about this for a second now. You are talking about the Cowboys who did do the Herschel Walker trade.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry had a contract, an agreement in place with Micah. And why else would he wait so long in order to trade him? You don't think Jerry Jones realizes the value of Micah Parsons and being able to
I
get
would actually
multiple
think that
picks?
this was
This is my assumption. I have no proof, no nothing, but stuff that I've read is that they had a gentleman's agreement, and then the next step was to bring the agent in. But Jerry was like, "No, you and I, we talked about this, we came to a verbal agreement." It's essentially what he told Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
I genuinely feel sorry for Cowboy fans on this one. I really do, because I mean, this isn't the first time this shit's happened. Look at what he did with Johnston. Jimmy Johnston, shortly after he wins and beats him, or gets what, three Super Bowls?
3 Super Bowls total.
3 Super Bowls,
Two
and then he
he's a
switched
part
to
of.
Barry fucking
It was,
Switzer?
but it was a little deeper than that. There was a great ESPN 30 for 30 on that, and what was the turning point was when Jimmy Johnson embarrassed him in the locker room in front of all the players.
Okay, I get that, but reprimand him and move the fuck on.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
Jerry, that's not Jerry's
Oh,
way.
I know
Jerry.
it's not, but at the same
He's
time,
petty
if
as
this
hell.
man's going to be bringing your town ships,
Yeah.
you're going to talk about a full-scale riot, and that's kind of what we're talking about with Micah Parsons.
That's a fair critique. But I'm telling you, man, that
So
they had an agreement.
yeah, but there's one other detail that I think crystallized all of it. Because even throughout all the interviews that Jerry was making, he kept talking about the money, the money, the money. The problem wasn't the money. The problem was the terms. He wanted to sign him to that money on a 5-year deal. Micah wanted it on a 4-year deal. Why? Because the CBA expires in 2030.
Oh.
And the new TV deals expire in 2030. So what they were looking at and what David Mulligetta, his agent, was looking at, hey, I want another piece of the apple in 2029, or at least when the TV deals are solidified, and now we know what type of new money that we could be looking at.
Very smart.
So that's what they were looking to do. Jerry Jones didn't want to budge on that. And that's why he thought that he got one over on Micah with the handshake deal. Okay, we're done here. That's why he didn't want to reattack it with the agent, because the agent knew that that was one of the key points that he wanted to attack him on. So the other part also is the timing, right? If you you traded Micah Parsons literally the week before the season starts.
That's brutal, man.
Again, I think
it's ridiculous, right?
It is.
So you cut your nose to spite your face, basically, over the fact that you didn't want to talk to an agent.
Okay.
But literally the CBA says that if a player is represented by an agent, the owner must have negotiations with that agent.
Well, here's
because
the
that's his representative.
You're absolutely right. But that's the problem with actually being an owner and filling a GM role at the same time.
Correct. Right.
It's a conflict of interest.
Right. But he knew what he was doing when he had that initial conversation because you brought him in under one hat as a GM. If I'm talking to you as a player, more than likely you're talking to the general manager, talking about leadership.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're talking about money, you're now the boss.
So 2 things on that. Did you guys ever watch the Dallas Cowboys Hard Knocks where Jerry Jones basically trapped Tony Romo in a closet and they were sitting down basically on a bucket close to like this and they negotiated the deal?
No.
For his contract?
I didn't see that, no.
Yeah, you should check that out. That's what I think. Jerry Jones is used to working that way.
They were talking about that. That's how he normally tries to do it.
Right. He tries to get the deal done with the player first and then whatever else. But let me eliminate a narrative, an undertone here. Jerry Jones does play his players. All you got to do is look at Dak. Oh, God. Look at Dak. Look at CeeDee Lamb. Did it take a minute? Yeah, but they still ended up becoming one of the highest paid players in the NFL.
Well, that's the other problem, though. So
it wasn't about the money.
Do you realize, though, that
case.
if they actually would have given that money to Micah Parsons, between Dak and CD and Parsons, that would have gobbled up 52% of their entire salary cap space. 52%. So don't tell me that they're actually paying their players.
No, because it's right there in the pudding. I mean, they play their star players. The contracts show it.
Sure, but
how are you going to make Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback in NFL and he can't even win a playoff
point
game?
Exactly. You're
But
paying
my
the
point
wrong
is
players.
he's paying his players, his stars, this top tier money, but he's getting bottom tier results. But my overall point is he's paying his stars. So it wasn't about the money in this situation.
Stars aren't going to win you a championship.
Well,
teams win you a championship.
You're right, but that's another different argument. But I'm saying for this one, though, I don't think it had anything to do with the money. I think Jerry was just pissed off. Jura was pissed off at the agent.
Yeah, probably.
For getting involved.
Yeah, I'm sure that was definitely a big part of it. Yeah.
That's it, man.
I just feel bad for Dallas as a whole. If you're between Nico Harris and Jerry Jones and the Longhorns, this has been like the worst year so far that you could possibly think of, because you've got the Luka and Michael Parsons and now that the loss with OSU. It's been a bad year for fans in Dallas.
Well, they need to start apologizing to somebody.
Yep.
Because they clearly did something wrong.
But I do agree with you though, Angry Joey. Like, why on earth would you trade this guy?
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. But he can't fire himself.
No.
Nope.
Do you think any other GM would have been fired if they would have made that trade? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. Nico still has his job, so maybe not.
I guess it depends on the GM. If they've actually made a track record of making these kind of
Nico's
mistakes.
been drafting well though.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, if the only way to solve this over, much like how the Mavericks ended up, if the Green Bay Packers screwed it up so bad that they end up with the number one overall pick, then okay.
That's some shady shit. We talked about that before, but I think they were, come on, what was it, 1.2%?
Well, it's the lottery in the NBA too.
Yeah.
So that's why the conspiracy, but we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked
before.
about that.
So yeah. Look, Dallas, just pray more often. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I personally love Jerry Jones because he's an alum of Arkansas, so he gives us lots of money.
There it is.
I hope
I
Jerry
love
Jones,
him too. I hope he lives
Jerry
forever.
Jones lives forever.
That's right.
I feel bad for Cowboys fans, but fuck them. I want all that money coming to Arkansas. So.
Anything else on this?
No,
one?
I'm good. That's all I have.
Got anything else on this? Okay, so let's go ahead and move it over to Hater with Facts here. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, so just to piggyback a little bit what we were just talking about here and about Jerry Jones, because he's about to be the star of this pod right now, because I'm going to talk about a term that I have not heard in the internet streets or in the mainstream sports media. I haven't heard this term, so I'm going to coin it for us in our show. I am going to call this the stupid tax.
Love it.
And Jerry Jones is the star of this, and he is the master of paying the stupid tax. Now, we mentioned earlier that he has 3-star players, or at least had 3-star players that he has paid. But see, the problem, he says it himself that deadlines make deals. That's what he says. The problem is in the NFL, your timing is more important sometimes than even the money that you pay. So let's take it back to the time machine a little bit, and let's talk about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has been with the Cowboys since 2016. He was a 4th round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So at the time that he was supposed to have been paid, by the time he was up to be paid, the highest paid quarterback at that time was making $40 million. No, I'll take that back. I'm sorry. He was making $35 million. The highest paid quarterback at his position was making $35 million. Well, first he slapped him with the franchise tag. So he went from getting paid $2 million as a rookie to then they slapped him with the franchise tag at that point, which gave him $31 million.
Oh, you cooking now.
So based on that alone, that's one problem. But then when they signed the contract the following year, now he had to pay him $40 million. So that is officially a 12% stupid tax that he had to pay Dak Prescott to keep him as his quarterback.
Well done, sir. Say some dessert, man, because you cooking them up.
So now let's move on, because you would think that he would, and then just as a quick aside, when he was signing the contract and he admitted that he overpaid him, my God, are you serious? But let's move on. Yeah. So now let's go to CeeDee Lamb. Now, CeeDee Lamb, 1st round pick. At the time that he was supposed to have been paid, the highest paid wide receiver at that time was Tyreek Hill at $30 million. Now, if he would have done right by him, because at that point, he already made a Pro Bowl, and I believe he was an all-pro wide receiver at that point. I think he made an all-pro team by that point. So I think that resume does merit that he should be.
I would concur. I got
be up there, right?
I can't even contest that.
Right. So if he would have paid him a little bit more than Tyreek, let's just say he paid him 30 and a half, been fine, right? But no, not Jerry. He said, no, I'm going to wait till the very last minute. Who got paid during that time? That would have been Justin Jefferson. So now.
And set the market.
Correct. So now it went from 30 to 35. So then he ended up paying CeeDee Lamb $34 million. That's an 11.5% stupid tax.
Damn.
Right? So now that lead us to, and by the way, the cost of doing that, because that's extra cap that you had to put towards other players, you missed out on getting Derrick Henry that year, who wanted to play for the Dallas Cowboys for less than $10 million.
This
you didn't have enough.
This is a really good point, Hader. So Patrick Mahomes is a good example of when the timing was right to pay him. Because, I mean, imagine if he was a free agent right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
What would he be demanding?
Making more money than he is.
Right now,
yeah.
he is, yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah,
They actually paid him in time, I mean, so that's what separates them from good general management. And look at them. They're going to championships, if not winning them, So anyway.
Yeah.
Good shit, Hader. Seriously, good shit.
Oh, I got one more. So since we're talking about Micah here. Now, in March, well, actually in 2023, he said that he went to the Cowboys and he said he was willing to negotiate his contract at that point.
They should have did it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. If they would have, the highest paid defensive end at that point was $35 million.
Oh, Lord.
35. So now you kick the can down the road 2 more years, and then you waited to the week before. Now, you ended up trading him away, but Jerry Jones already said he had no problem paying him the money, right? So if we use the contract that he currently has right now, given what he could have paid him at that point in 2023 to now, and his $46.5 million, that's a 34% stupid tax. That now, even though it's not leveraged on him anymore. I mean, Green Bay Packers are paying that, but you just passed on the stupid tax to the Green Bay Packers, and what you got in return is Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. The general manager, Jerry Jones, has screwed over the owner. That is my final point.
Can I ask a quick question? Because I don't know this. What's the Because in the NFL, in the NBA, they have a max on number of like picks you can trade away.
I don't.
What's the max? Is it because everyone?
I don't think the NFL has a max.
Because I keep hearing that. Why didn't he get 3? Why didn't he get 3? Is that like the standard? Is
Because
3?
nobody's going to pay it. That's the actual fact.
It's the timing of all of it.
Mhm.
You see, here's the problem. If let's just say if Jerry had no intention of keeping Micah with the Cowboys, you should have traded him before the draft. You know why? You could have ended up with the 20 whoever team. First of all, you would have opened it up to everybody. Why? Because before the season starts, you have 90 roster spots.
That's
to
right.
work
And
with.
most teams would overpay for him.
Correct. And so because you didn't, you now restricted the number of teams you can even open up negotiations with, because everybody else already has a roster set and they don't have the cap space that they did then when they back in March.
So what would be a good like return on investment for Micah Parsons in your opinion?
Everybody hates it, but they got a good return. I'm sorry. Because they have to pay him as the best defensive player in football, and he may be worth it. However, nobody's giving 3 first-round picks. That's not going to happen for a non-quarterback. It's just not going to happen. I know everybody wants it to and thinks, oh, he's worth it. They're still not going to do it, and it's never been done before, so why should it be done?
You know, you might be right there, Tony, just because, I mean, look at what the Broncos actually paid for Russell Wilson.
That's a quarterback, though.
I agree, but they didn't even give up 3 first round for him. They gave up 2.
Nobody's paying 3 first-round picks.
So 2 is the cap then.
Oh, it's not a cap. It's just that nobody's going to pay it.
There's no max.
That's a good point.
You're not going to
NFL doesn't
mortgage
have a max,
everything
though.
for
Come on,
for the next 3 years.
Come on, Angry Tony, get in there.
Sure,
Let 'em know what's
there
up.
could be not a cap if you're going to pay some of his salary. But if you're telling me I got to pay this guy like the highest paid defensive player in the league, and you want me to give you this is just not going to happen. 2 first-rounders is a lot, even though we all agree at least the 2026 Green Bay pick is not going to be a good pick. It's because I think I think they're one of the favorites in the NFC now.
I would agree.
So you're talking like a what? 20, 27,
Between
28.
25 and 28 for sure.
29, Yeah.
So the only better investment would have been like a trade with like the Saints or somebody like that.
Some shit bag team.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
like
the problem is that those bottom feeders, they're not going to pay that either, because
No.
they're already in purgatory with their entire team. Micah Parsons is not going to fix that problem.
Nope.
And Green Bay filled their biggest need.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
entire team.
Oh, yeah.
They needed to get after the quarterback. And what better player to do with? It's almost perfect for them.
Right. And
It
but
really
they
is.
have a good secondary. They have some young corners there.
Yeah,
But
their
this can
safeties
help
are
them a
great.
lot.
Their corners are suspect, but their safeties are like top
Yeah,
notch.
I think it's going to give them enough time to be able to actually make some plays on that end, because Mika's going to, yeah, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
So-
he's a missing piece.
So the closest deal that we can probably look at is the Khalil Mack trade. And in that, the Bears
Oh,
gave up
God.
2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a 6th. So 4 total assets, right? No players were involved in that, but I forgot how old Khalil Mack was at that
Yeah,
point.
I think he was
contract.
20,
I think he was 26.
26, 27,
something like that.
somewhere
Yeah.
right out, right? And
Fucking worst trade
and
ever.
Micah is what, 25?
He's
maybe?
26.
Yeah,
And they
okay.
had to eat his contract too, though, right?
Well,
Matt?
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
What
they
was the
re-signed.
contract?
Yeah, they signed him to a new deal when they came over. But I mean, the fact, it's just the timing of it all. The timing just makes this so much worse.
So it sounds like from a novice, from my perspective, that Jerry Jones screwed up the actual paying of the player and should have paid him years before.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
But when it came to the actual trade, he didn't do that bad. Am I getting that right?
I guess given the time that like the week before the season, you try to make a deal. Sure.
I would have got three
Yeah.
first-round picks minimum.
I don't know, and I think I'm with Tony on this one. I don't think you would have gotten it. I mean, now Green Bay, would they have given it? Because I mean, if they're in a win now mode,
situation, yeah.
maybe if they think that that's the missing piece that's going to put them over the top and give them a ship. I mean, what would we do in our fantasy leagues? You know,
LA
I mean,
Rams?
But I would say this: as petty as Jerry Jones can be, I will try my best to send him as close to north of the wall as I could. Like, I'll send you to, you said New Orleans. I'll send you to Seattle. I'll send you to an AFC team if anything. I'll send you to the Jets. I'll send you to, well,
I guess.
Baltimore, maybe.
No, I'm not sending to Baltimore. But
Why
I'll
not?
send,
They sent him to Green Bay.
I'll send Jacksonville. I'll send you somewhere. Look, I want you to suffer. You know what I mean?
Get
You
in
get
there.
paid from
Get in there,
somebody. I
Tony.
need you to suffer.
Well,
for.
that's even more fucked up than the rest of the shit you were talking about. But but I am surprised he traded him to the NFC. I was thinking who in the
Right.
AFC could
Right.
go after and get this guy. I was
Yeah.
thinking the Chargers or something. You know,
Right.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was surprised about that, and it's week 4. It's on.
And if
Right.
they ever make
Yeah.
it to the playoffs,
That's
they're
gonna
going to have
be
to see him.
motivated for sure.
Oh
They're
my
gonna-
God.
They're going to be seeing Micah Parsons for years.
And my Lions got them week 1.
I thought the Lions were going to make a play for him.
No,
I really
we can't.
Oh no,
We can't.
Because
Especially
you guys
at
are
that
right
contract.
there.
Right,
Especially
but
with,
financially.
No, right.
Hutchins-
We can't afford to pay him, Aiden Hutchinson, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. Like
You don't
no.
think those guys would take a little bit of a pay cut to make that happen? I think they would.
I mean, maybe,
No.
but again,
I think they would. Listen, if you're talking shaving off like $2 or $3 million when your overall contract's worth 60, I mean, come on. If you want to win, you're going to make that money up in endorsements.
I mean,
Jordan
think-
rule. Jordan rule.
yeah.
Look it up.
But it would have taken a lot of coordination with all the agents that are representing them
Yeah.
to make that happen. You know what I mean?
My
A
Raiders
lot
should
of
have went for him.
assumptions.
Yeah.
My Raiders should have
Yeah,
went
exactly.
for him, but they didn't. So, whatever. We could have used them. Oh, so what else you got? What's next for you?
So of course we are in week 1. We're basically here. Football is back, baby.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
So this is y'all twos.
Yeah. So first thing let's get this out the way right now. A couple podcasts ago, we all gave our NFL predictions, but Tony wasn't here for that.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So now I will pass the baton over to my guy. He's not Angry Tony, but
Could be.
the self-proclaimed best
Niner
fantasy
Tony.
football player of all
Starscream.
time, and
Starscream, yeah.
NFL divisional
Best
predictions.
fantasy
All right,
football
divisional
player.
predictions. I'll try to get this quick because it won't be very quick, but I got to go through a bunch of this. And I will say, I am not going to be chalky, right? I can just spit off all the Vegas lines and just go down the line. But so Tony's coming with takes today, okay?
Can't wait to hear
All right,
this.
all right. So of course I say that first for off the bat AFC East. I got to go a little chalky here. Okay, Buffalo Bills number 1. Josh Allen. Okay, he, in my opinion, he's the best player in football, and I don't even know how he does it, but he makes the team great. And on paper, I don't even think they're that great, but they do have a solid offense, top 3 to 5 offensive line probably. So, Bills. Number 2, Patriots.
Oh, interesting.
I like what they're doing. I like the Vrabel edition. I like the upside and excitement of the team. They just feel like a team on the
I don't
upside.
disagree with you, man. I mean, I think that's a good take.
So far, ours are the same.
Yep.
No,
You're
all right,
right on
nice.
line
I
right
like
now.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually rooting for them. It's cool. I think it's exciting for New England. Number 3, the Jets.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. There was news today. Elijah Vera Tucker is so that that may change things. That is a big injury because they were going to be a running team with Fields and Brees and Braylon Allen. So that sucks, especially for me since I'm relying on Fields and Hall in my fantasy leagues.
Do you think
So
that
I'm
Fields
pissed.
is going to actually come out of his shell finally?
He'll probably be what he always has been, right?
So okay.
I think he will.
That was the only reason why I actually had them lower was because their just offense was anemic. But
And totally get it. But I just think the Dolphins are kind of dysfunctional right now. I don't like
that's a good point too.
I don't like the vibe that's coming out of camp. Mike McDaniels already seems like he's fired. I don't know. Like it's very weird. And I just can see them totally tanking. I would not be surprised if they had the first pick in the draft next year.
You think they're going to finish behind?
I told you I'm coming with takes.
That's good. Okay,
yeah.
I like it.
We had Miami finishing last 2, so that's good.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
so not so spicy.
And just one point of order.
No, great.
Larry, or AKA Monster, sent his picks to me already, and he has the Patriots finishing last.
Oh, what?
His order is the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots.
I think that's kind of pretty close to what my takes were too, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, well, I love what
Yeah,
keep cooking,
that's
Tony.
not happening.
Keep cooking.
My picks were.
All right, AFC North. I'm going Ravens.
Duh.
There's just not a lot of things to complain about there. On paper, they're great. They should be great. I just hope that they can win a big game in the playoffs. I'd love to see Lamar Jackson go to Super Bowl. It would be cool. I want to see a Bills-Ravens AFC Championship game.
That'd be a good one.
Okay, number 2, the Bengals. I'm going here, and it's maybe a little bit spicy, but I'm going with offensive power. I just think they're going to destroy people on offense, and they have a little tiny bit of upgrade to the offensive line. Yes, we know their defense is going to be a problem, but that will just make them be more aggressive on offense, and I'm not really afraid of a lot. I'm not afraid of anybody in the division, really, not even the Ravens, but yeah, so they're a wild card team for sure. I think they're finished second. Steelers, I know everybody is kind of high on them, but I think Rodgers is doo-doo. I think Arthur Smith is not a good
You just made
coordinator.
haters' day right there, man.
It's not the 1970s, you know what I'm saying? Like, and especially in this division. Sure, if they're in the AFC South, they can probably win it, right? But they're not good in this division. I don't like it. They're also the second oldest team in the league, so you get a couple injuries here or there.
They're the second oldest. Who's the first?
Oh, I'll get to there later.
Okay.
And so a little bit can happen, and all of a sudden, and everybody hates the Steelers, and the Steelers suck. I wouldn't be surprised if they could be one of the teams who super outperform or super underperform, but I'm going third in the division. Cleveland Browns are last, and I don't have to say any more about that.
All right. And just to recap for Larry, he has the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers.
Monster.
That seems like
AKA
wishful
Monster.
thinking on
Sorry,
his part.
Monster, yeah.
Just call him Monster.
Monster, yeah.
Where does he have the Browns?
Third.
Oh, okay, so he gave him. Yeah.
Little
Next time-
homerish.
Okay.
Next
Little
time,
homerish.
hey,
Okay,
since
I
he's
get
sending you stuff, why don't you respond to him and say, why don't you come up here and defend your picks, sir?
I'll pass that along.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Tell
All
him
right.
it's from light skinned Jay with the curls. I told him that.
Okay.
All right, moving to the South. Here's where the takes start to happen, because this division is wide open, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh, my guy.
Okay.
We're aligned here, sir.
So
right.
I said this about the Bengals, and I said I'm going to say I just think I'm going offensive firepower here because the division is not great. I love Cohen. Okay, Lawrence isn't terrible, right? We got Brian Thomas. Now we got Travis Hunter. I really like the young tight end Brenton Strange. Their offensive line is fine. It's average. It's not great. It's not terrible.
Do you think that Trevor Lawrence is actually going to have? Because we kind of we had a little segment in there where we did a
It's
put up or shut
just
up.
Put up or shut up right now.
Do you think that he's going to actually put up?
Yes. And I will, and I can show you the receipts. I'll put my money or my mouth where my picks are, my money where my picks are, or whatever. But I have Trevor Lawrence, a shit ton of Trevor Lawrence in best ball, like a shit ton. He may be my most owned quarterback in best ball. So
You believe in him that much?
I do. I believe in the offense.
You have a belief
Yes.
in the system more than anything,
Of
right?
course. And so, of course, what am I going to say? Baker Mayfield last year, look what he did. He concentrated Baker's, like, he changed the way he changed the way he threw, right? Instead of being aggressive downfield, he made these easy, I don't want to say easy, but like manageable down and distances. He made, instead of going 10 yards down the field, he made it 6, and that's what he's going to do.
God forbid he's a game manager. Right.
Trevor, although he got rid of the ball quick, he did throw the ball down the field, which was like weird, So I think it's kind of perfect. So when Trevor gets rid of that ball quickly, he's not going to throw the ball 9 yards down the field, which I think what his average was. It's going to be more like 6, which is exactly what he did with Baker last year. And I think he has the perfect offense for it because Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter kind of operate great in that area of the field. And you can say, well, that's redundant, but I'm not so sure. They're so dynamic. I think it'll be fine.
Did you hear how they labeled Travis Hunter? He's wide receiver first, quarterback second.
I did see that.
So I think that's a good take. I think you're right on that one.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And I think we all knew that. I mean, it's going to be really hard to play all that. I guess it's easier to just come out and play wide receiver and be a backup corner.
But we talked about it last week, like, as long as it does like an 80-20 or 90-10 split, for Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Keep going, man.
We'll see. It'll be definitely one of the things that we're all watching for week one, I'm sure. Not just us, the whole NFL and fantasy community.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
Houston Texans. Okay. I wanted to get a little spicy here and like have another team, but the Texans defense is legit. That defensive line is so good. And that defense in general is just, it's probably the best. It's definitely the best in the division, and it's probably one of the best in the AFC. The only thing that scares me is the offensive line is so trash that it can make the defense not be effective anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of out on the Texans a little bit. They have a dusty Nick Chubb as their number one.
Joe Mixon's out for the first 4 games at least.
Yes, at least. We don't even know what the heck's going on with him. It's a non-football injury.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah. So I'm just nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, the Colts. I think the Colts are the most balanced team in the division. They have a good offensive line. They have a good defense. They actually have good, like, all kind of groups. They have a good secondary. They have a good line. They have a good offensive line. They have good running backs. They have very good receivers, in my opinion. They all do things different. It's just their quarterback, right? So I could see them doing something, but it's all about quarterback.
I like it, man. I like it. Keep going, bro.
And, that brings me, obviously, 4 is the Titans. So I think they have a bright future. I really, really, really like Cam Ward. I want him to succeed, but they just don't have enough. They just don't have enough right now, but I think they're on the rise. So maybe not this year. I haven't finished the 4th, but I will be excited to see what they do, especially towards the end of the year. I like their young talent, and I'm rooting for them.
All right, Monsters picks was the Texans, the Jags, the Titans, and the Colts.
Let's go.
NFC.
All right. Okay, right. No, I gave my AFC West.
What was the AFC West one again? AFC was the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders. Oh, man, I knew there was something I liked about you, Tony.
Yeah, that matches what I had last time. I had my Raiders finishing last too, so.
And yeah, I think we talked about Monster had the Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos finishing last. But
all right, here we go.
Come on, hit me with it.
NFC East. I'm not going to get too fucking crazy. The Eagles, number 1, sure. They're probably the best team in football on paper. Defending champs, blah, blah, blah. Number 2, the New York Football Giants.
Whoa. You done bumped your head.
Okay.
All right, just hear me out.
No, this is good.
Hear me out.
Commanders.
All right, I think that they have the...
This is what conviction looks like.
Mr.
Host.
They have the best defensive front in football. Because we don't know what Abdul Carter is. If he's as dominant as he was in college, if this is the next quote-unquote Micah Parsons, you got Dexter Lawrence and Thibodeau. So they got the best nose tackle in football probably, plus you pair him with Burns and Abdul Carter if he's as good as we think. They could be super, super disruptive.
Good spin.
And they had 2 rookie secondary guys last year, and Phillips and Nubian, who were very good, right? If they can take a step forward, they added Holland and Paulson Adebo in the offseason. So now you have your secondary solidified. If they just take a step forward on defense, they could be one of the best defensive teams in football, right? I know. Their offensive line's trash. They have one good left tackle, and the rest of the line is bad. Got it. I'm just expecting a little dart later in the year, right? And then all things click, baby, and all of a sudden the Giants are going to playoffs.
Dart is a good quarterback. He's better than the other.
I agree, man.
For sure.
They got to survive the first 6 weeks of the year, but go ahead.
I know. Okay, so good point, Hater. They have the second worst schedule in football. Got it. But those things kind of change throughout the year. We may look back and be like, it wasn't as terrible as we thought. Okay, fine. Okay. So number 3, the Washington Commanders. I know everybody's very high on them, and I love Jaden Daniels, but they don't have, I think they overachieved. They don't have a good defense. Their offensive line is questionable. Yes, Tunsil was a great addition, but Sam Cosmi tore his ACL in January. How is he going to be? That offensive line is kind of like the Giants. If we don't like the Giants offensive line, why would we like the Washington offensive line? They are the oldest roster in the NFL.
Yes, they are.
By
Yes,
far.
they are. Yep.
By far, actually. About a year older than the second place Steelers. So, like 25 players on their roster are over 29. Bobby Wagner gets hurt. That's a big problem because they don't. Their linebackers may be their strongest position group, and that's not a good thing because Bobby Wagner gets hurt. That's bad. Yes, Luvu's a good player, but come on, they could. There's problems. I don't think they're going to be as good as people think. Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. They're dysfunctional. No more.
Especially without Mike
Nothing
Parsons.
more to be said.
All right. Monsters picks here were the Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants.
Oh, okay.
So he's the only one that has the Commanders winning the division here.
Okay. NFC North.
NFC North, Green Bay Packers, number 1. I know, of course, the addition of Michael Parsons. Well, it doesn't matter. That was their weakest. Getting to the passer was their weakest part of their team. So they fixed that. Yes, they're a little weak at corner, but the rest of it is fine. Their offensive line is very good. They have a lot of offensive weapons. Jordan Love just needs to stay healthy and find them all like he's used to, and they'll be fine. Okay, I know Detroit Lions. I love them. I hope they do good. But they have new offensive and defensive coordinators, which everybody likes to say it's about their offensive coordinator, but they lost their D coordinator too. Their offensive lines, question marks, as we know, with the retirement and everything. But so those are key things. Campbell is awesome, and I think he'll hold them together. They'll be a very good team. So number 2. Okay, Vikings, number 3. There's kind of uncertainty here for me all around. Yes, they're solid in almost every position group, but we've never seen JJ play before, and he's a quarterback, so that's a big deal. And Justin Jefferson literally is not done anything. So that would be, and what's his name? Addison's lost for the first 3 games to suspension. So how do these guys start out? And that could be a problem. So yeah, number 3. Did you want to say something there?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. 4, obviously the Bears. So, okay. Yes. Lots of upside there. Could be really fun. I hope they are, because I have a lot of Bears ownership in fantasy, but there's a lot of uncertainty there. They made this offensive line better, but it's kind of a patchwork group. So how is that going to work? We've seen that before. Oh, it looks good on paper, but they just don't jive. So we'll see. I don't think that defense is very good either. I know people do. Their secondary's fine, but I don't think their front seven is very good. So yeah.
So Monsters picks were the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings. And I are making my first change from the last show. I am agreeing with you. I have the Packers now winning the division.
Ooh,
Wow.
Rico.
Yep.
Oh,
Conviction,
hater.
sir.
Hey,
Love that
not-
conviction in your voice.
I'm not, I am a Lions fan, but I'm also a realist, and I understand. Now, I'm a little bit shaky about this. I still think now there's more pressure on Jordan Love to be consistent, because that's the one thing he has not been. But I think they will have enough to actually get over the top to win 12 games, while I think Detroit will win 11.
I think it's funny you bring this up, because I think I'm going to throw in a change too, but not at number 1. Well, let me see. I think did I put Minnesota in there, right?
You have Minnesota winning the division.
Okay, yeah. There's a few changes that I need to make there. I still don't have the Packers winning the division. I am gonna actually stick with. Let's see. I want to switch. Actually, I want to switch Minnesota and Green Bay. Or let me see.
So you want Green Bay? You have Green Bay winning the division?
I'm gonna have no. I still have the Lions, but I'm gonna switch Green Bay and.
Well, you had Minnesota first.
Okay, yeah. So I want to. My rankings are gonna be. Let me see. Detroit, and then Green Bay, and then Minnesota, and then the Bears.
Okay.
I'm going to switch mine too. I'm going to go right along with Tony. With Niner Tony. I'm going to switch mine around for his as well.
Okay. So Jules, you're switching up too?
Yeah.
So
I like the exact. I think our picks are probably like 1 or 2 off.
So you're gonna match Tony here.
Yeah, I want to match Tony.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that was the North. What about the South?
All right, South. I'll try to make this quicker. Number 1, Tampa Bay. All right, very difficult decision to pick out. I wanted to do some spicy things here. I just think Tampa is the most balanced and experienced, I guess. Like they know each other, you know. And they got the good news with Tristan Wirfs' injury, whereas my second team, the Falcons, it's London and Bijan for me. The loss of McGarry to injury is a really big deal because they lost Dolman in free agency. So now that offensive line, which was a strength, is kind of questionable. Penix is he's only started 3 games, so he's a question mark. We all like him, sure, and I love the skill position players. Well, I love the 2 of them, so it's just a question. I really wanted to like the Falcons, but they got some really bad news recently. Then third, the Panthers. I wanted to put the Panthers higher. I just couldn't because that defense just doesn't do anything. Can't get to the quarterback. Their secondary's fine. It's just not great. They have a good offensive line, though, and I like the offensive talent. They did, however, trade Thielen, and now Jalen Coker is on IR. So now you're relying on kind of a rookie and a solid running back core to do things. They'll be fine, but they're not going to be great. They're not going to contend for the division this year. All right, and then for Saints, they're just very, very bad, and everybody's going to be playing their fantasy defenses against them, and they're going to be a contender for the first pick in the draft, obviously.
Yes. Monsters picks were the Bucks, the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints. I have made a change here too. I had at first Atlanta winning a division. I have changed this. I saw the offensive line news and completely threw. I changed my mind here. So I had the Bucks winning the division. I have Carolina still being second and making the playoffs. So, yeah,
awesome. Okay, NFC West.
All right, West. Okay, so guys, if you don't know already, I'm a big Niners fan. Trying not to be Homer here, but I'm going to pick the Niners first. And I'm just kind of relying on the same thing I said about the Bucks. I'm just relying on the coaching and experience. The team has been Purdy knows, they know each other, right? Yes, our defense is super, super suspect. I am not going to argue with you, okay? I'm just saying we've got the experience as a team, and so I'm going with that. The Seahawks number 2, okay? I like Kubiak, and I think, we saw what he can do with an offense last year, the beginning of the year, where they surprised people with the Saints. I think he's going to finally have a little bit more of a established, kind of steady team here, and I don't know. I'll talk about the Rams in a little bit, but I just think they're young and hungry and ready. I'm afraid to play them week 1 actually because our defense needs a lot of work, and I just we saw what he did to the Cowboys last year in opening game, so I'm a little nervous about that. I do think that defensive line could be really good too. So okay, number 3, the Rams.
Damn.
Okay, I know a lot of people love the Rams this year. I like them too. I think they've got a lot of young talent, especially on defense. This all comes down to Stafford, right? We all know the back injury, and if he gets hurt, then they're just not the same team. So I don't know if an old guy coming off a back injury throughout the whole entire offseason can just start. It really sucks for them week 1 playing the Houston Texans, who probably have a top 2 defensive line in football. That's not good. So my thing is Stafford probably doesn't last a year, and that's why they're third. I get it. They're talented. And then 4th, the Cardinals, who I actually really like. They've got an improved offensive line, improved secondary. They do need better play calling, and they need to make sure that their players are doing the right thing. You can't run a Marvin Harrison on a go route all the damn time. That's not his game. You know what I mean? So they have to get better at what they do, but I do like the talent on the team. And that's my picks. Go ahead, Rick.
Love it.
Hater, take it over.
All right. So Monsters picks here was the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. I made a complete change. I made I said I was very, very back and forth on the NFC West. So I still have the 49ers winning the division, but now I switched from Arizona finishing second to finishing last because Kyler Murray cannot be trusted. So Seahawks will take second, and the Rams will finish third because a bad back is no joke. All right, so since we're on to week 1, and we have allowed, or at least me, I was able to give some rankings here, and I was able to get ChatGPT involved, and so So it says that the best game of the week is the number 2 Baltimore Ravens. All right. So with the help of ChatGPT, we were able to put together some games of the week. And so the top game of the week is the number 2 Ravens going to the number 4 Buffalo Bills. Okay.
I don't think I disagree with that.
Yeah. Next would be the number 5 Detroit Lions going to the number 6 Green Bay Packers.
I like it.
The number 17 Dallas Cowboys for now going to the number 1 Philadelphia Eagles.
That's not even going to be a game. How is that even possible?
Again,
Are they taking into consideration the Parson trade?
This was done well before that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried, but even with the rankings, the
But they're
composite
at
rankings.
Philadelphia. That's stupid.
Yeah. So but this is based on the average of ESPN, CBS, PFF, and ChatGPT. So that's how these numbers were compiled, right?
Okay.
And then you have the number 14 Houston Texans playing at the number 9 Los Angeles Rams. So those are to me, those are the 5 best games of the week.
Okay.
Okay. I would
Predictions.
agree with some of those. But
Yeah.
how are you not even bringing in Kansas City versus the Chargers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Agreed.
oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. I did fumble that. So yes, the number 3 Kansas City Chiefs play at number 11 Los Angeles Chargers live from Brazil.
I think it's going to be a shit game, though, because when they did that, was it last year? The field
It was terrible.
awful.
Yes.
You would think they would correct that.
Yeah.
So,
NFL probably threw him some money.
probably. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So,
Hopefully they learn their lesson. So
what else we got?
So yeah, so those are the top 5. So Cowboys, Eagles, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Lions, Packers, Texans, Rams. So who wants to take a bite first?
Well, I would definitely say get rid of the Dallas Eagles game. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's going to be much of a game, really. I don't know, but that's why they play the game, right? It could be totally something unexpected happen. You never know.
You never know. Hey,
But I really like
any Sunday.
every single one of those games are actually pretty good, with the exception of that one. I do like also, the Bills and the Ravens. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. Let's see. And this is going to be an interesting one. And it kind of goes back to your point when you were actually giving your rankings, Tony, was when you actually ranked the Giants over Washington. Well, guess who's playing?
Oh, baby, I know it.
So that, they're going to be testing your theory mighty hard that day.
Well, foreshadowing of my upset special. Oh, okay.
So that'll be a good one, and not only that, but let's not forget this is a divisional rivalry game. Those two teams do not like each other.
No.
So there's going to be but it is in Washington, so they have a little bit of an advantage there. Giants, they have one hell of a defense, and I agree with you, probably arguably one of the best offensive or defensive lines in the game. So I think that one's going to be pretty fun. But I think that the other one is just going to be, let me see here. In Detroit and Green Bay. Gosh dang. And it's in Green Bay. I don't know. Man, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That's going to be the tone setter, I think, for that division.
I agree.
So quick point on that, right? So they put out some story about apparently Michael Parsons needs an epidural to actually play. Apparently.
L4 and L5 are back thing, yeah.
So let's explain something real quick. Now, we've heard epidurals 3 times this year. The first was Matthew Stafford, and everybody was scared as hell on that. The second we have heard is Michael Parsons right now. And the third was Kelly Stafford, Matthew Stafford's wife, who just had their 3rd child. So all I know is anytime you talk about epidurals.
That's why his back hurt.
Well, maybe so. But all I know is epidurals are no joke. Now, if the Lions are fortunate enough to play them first, and Micah, first of all, he just got there. He's not going to play a full game. He's not going to play full snaps. He's just not. He doesn't know the calls. He doesn't know the playbook inside and out right now. And he hasn't had any type of training camp or preseason at all.
Did Detroit get their, what's their defensive guy's name?
Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson? What?
Did they get him back? Is he
he's playing.
healthy?
Oh, hey.
He's playing week 1?
Okay.
100%.
Because he was hurt pretty damn bad last
yes,
year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and
but he was almost ready for the Super Bowl. He's ready. He's ready to go.
Look, all the camp reports,
Is he one of the X-Men?
joint practices, all of it.
He's a mutant, man.
Dude is ready. He is ready.
He's
And
going to come
like
back
it.
hungry too, man.
I love it.
look, and I hate I didn't get a chance to put this bet in before the season start, but I should have put it in for Aiden Hutchinson to win both comeback player of the year and defensive player of the
Well,
year.
we'll get to your future reward predictions here in a minute or
Yeah.
two. So
But also one key fact about this game. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this player for the Green Bay Packers. His name was Bo Melton. Does anybody remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wide
Yeah.
receiver turn corner.
Yes.
Oh, he turned
He is
corner?
yes, he is a wide
Rutgers,
receiver.
baby.
And now he's turning corner for the first time, and more times or more likely than not, he's either going to be the starting nickel or he's going to be mixed in packages, one or the other. And to be honest with you, Angry Joey, I think one of the biggest reasons why they were so aggressive in getting Micah Parsons was the fact that their secondary is so bad, or at least their corners are so bad. So now they want to rush the passer, so that way it takes a little bit of pressure off on the corners.
is Jair Alexander still there, or did he get
No,
traded?
He's gone.
they moved him. He's with the Baltimore
Damn.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
I
Their
retract what
safeties
I
are
said
great.
earlier.
Their corners
Safeties are good.
I was under the
Yeah.
assumption that Jair was still there. I didn't know he was on
No.
the Ravens.
Nope,
He
is
wasn't great
gone.
last year, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll talk about this a little bit later, but in this game, I feel like the wide receiver one for week 1 will be in this game.
Okay.
For that reason.
How come nobody's mentioning Tampa Bay and Atlanta? I think that might be a sneaky good game.
Could be.
Fun, maybe high scoring for fantasy purposes. Like it's
Yeah,
a division game.
Baker's going to have 300. I'd place a bet. I know this is one of your topics later, but I'd place a bet on Baker getting at least 300.
In Baker we trust.
Well, the composite ranking has the Buccaneers, where they at? They are 15, and Atlanta is 23. So that's why
Cool.
they were not part of the top 5 games.
So I did it a little different. I had a sleeper pick for the NFL, a dud pick,
Ooh, here we go.
and then an upset special.
Hit us with
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
All right, so my sleeper pick is Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers.
Who's favorite right now?
Should be I think the Green Bay Packers are the favorite, but I think Detroit Lions are going to win.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's
Green
not a
Bay,
homer pick either.
Green Bay is a 1.5 favorite.
yeah, but just from a watchability standpoint, to see Micah Parsons, to see if the Lions can keep up with the momentum that they had last year, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. So that's my sleeper pick for great games for the NFL that week 1. My dud pick is the exact opposite. It's Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were already supposed to blow them out,
Okay.
and now they have now that they've lost Micah Parsons, before week 1, I think it's just going to be a slaughter. I don't think it's going to be a good game at all to watch, other than if you enjoy watching the Cowboys
Getting slaughtered?
get slaughtered. Yeah.
So I think that the only uptake that they actually are going to have, or excuse me, that might save them from getting the slot being just buried is some of their offensive weapons. I mean, now that CeeDee Lamb, he's going to do CeeDee Lamb things.
Mhm.
So their running backs, Javonte Williams, he's a guy. Dak Prescott, he's like a Tony Romo light, in my opinion. In the sense that he could light it up one week and then just absolutely just shit the bed the next. So who knows what version you're going to get? But in that division, it's tough to say. I still think that you're right in the sense that Philadelphia is probably going to just beat the shit out of them.
Mhm.
But once again, any given Sunday, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, just the reason I picked it is because I think a ton of people are going to tune in because you want to see the drama of how bad the defense is without Micah Parsons. But I think ultimately it'll just be a boring game. So
Yeah, all right.
then my upset special, you'll be interested in this, Tony. My upset pick is the Seattle Seahawks over the 49ers. So I think the Seahawks are going to win that initial game against the 49ers.
I like it. I like it.
Let's do. How about we do our yearly picks first, then we can go into our weekly picks.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hater wanted yearly defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, MVP, and coach of the year.
Let's do it.
All right. So
Take it
first,
away.
and again, this is not Homer, but I just feel like I'll just make this real quick. Coach of the year, he got robbed last year. I stand by that 10 toes down. And even though they won't have the league's best record, but I feel like Dan Campbell will
I
finally
agree.
get
I
coach of the year. And the one embarrassment that's right now, I saw some odds already out there. There's some sports books that don't even have Dan Campbell on the list.
That's disrespectful.
That's bullshit.
Yes, it's total nonsense.
Sometimes you're like so expected to do something that you don't get to vote. It's crazy, I know.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
you're right.
kind of-
It's ridiculous.
He's doing this shit in Detroit.
No, I know.
The Lions.
You're-
You know it's true.
You watch your
Before
mouth.
Dan Campbell came along, y'all was garbage juice.
Yeah,
You know it.
Well, yeah.
You know
okay.
it.
All right, moving on.
See, look at that. See, but
moving on.
Am I speaking wrong?
Moving on, Raider fan.
I didn't think
moving
so.
along.
He
Keep
doesn't
it
want to
moving.
admit it. He doesn't
All
want
right.
to admit it.
League MVP.
0-16 season.
Shut your mouth. and Cleveland's riding shotgun on that too. So let's be real.
You're
They were the
right.
last
You're right.
0-16 team.
You're right.
But anyway,
in their defense, though, or in their defense, was didn't they change ownership groups too?
Yeah.
Around the same time?
A few
Yeah,
years ago.
a few years ago. So,
Well, yeah,
basically
Mom-
the daughter took over.
yeah,
Yeah.
the daughter took over.
The mom was more concerned over money.
Yes.
You know it's true. Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
you'll
yes,
admit to that.
absolutely.
yeah.
The daughter's concerned with
But with the change in
quality and
ownership, I've
winning.
heard
Yes.
that that's completely
That was
changed.
the key. Yes, that was
yeah.
the key in all of it.
Yeah.
But league MVP, I have Joe Burrow. Why? Because he has no choice. That's the only way they'll make the playoffs. That's the only way, if they can get to a championship game, that's the only way they can get to a Super Bowl, is if Joe Burrow balls the fuck out all 18 weeks. He
With your whole
cannot
chest.
he cannot slip at all because that defense is so trash. Even though Trey Hendrickson is back, doesn't matter. Joe Burrow, MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, I have Bijan Robinson. I just think it's just inevitable. He realizes his full potential.
He's
Even though the
Thanos.
offensive line is
He's Thanos.
yeah.
Who is the offensive player? Who's this?
Offensive Player of the Year,
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson. Defensive Player of the Year, Aiden Hutchinson. The man is mutant, okay? He has mutant powers. And everybody's going to talk about Michael Parsons. It's all fine and good. But people will remember just how disruptive his motor, just all of it is just off the charts. And people are going to remember again who he is. And my Rookie of the Year, Cam Ward. Again, they won't have the record, but I think the way that he plays and the way his mentality is going to just shine through. I know everybody loves Travis Hunter and stuff like that, but he won't get the snaps to do it. People love Tedoroy McMillan, and that's understood. But I think ultimately, if the quarterback does well enough, I think they'll give him the nod. So I have Cam Ward as Rookie of the Year. And those are my picks.
What do you got, Angry Joe? You got the same thing?
No, I have a few things. Okay, so I was actually kind of going back and forth between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson.
For
MVP, excuse me.
Coach of the Year?
No, well, so Joe Burrow, I mean, you make a compelling point, in the sense that he's at much more of a disadvantage than Lamar Jackson is. So, that's probably why I tend to agree with you on Joe Burrow being the MVP. It's gonna come. It just depends, But anyway, for the Offensive Player of the Year, oh goodness, I don't think it's going to be Saquon again. I mean, you can't do that 2 years in a row. I think that if you're actually putting Joe Burrow in there as the MVP, then Jamar Chase is almost a logical choice. Because that would mean
That's
that
who I have.
yeah,
Yep.
So it stands to reason, though. But once again, like you said, they're going to have to ball out, and they can't have that. That slump at the very beginning of the year like they typically do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, let's see. So the homer pick in me wants to say Nick Bonita, because he's a hell of a
Yep.
player, but
Hell
he's
yeah,
not.
he is.
He's not there yet. I mean,
he's a piece.
he's a piece, but I mean, damn, he's good.
Yes, he is.
he is.
But that's not my pick. I'm gonna have to say, I mean, who's scary to me is Max Crosby.
Okay.
I
You
really
can argue
like,
with that.
I like Max Crosby. I mean, I've always liked him, other than the fact that he's on a
Pete Carroll would know how to use
horrible fucking team. But anyway,
No, I love it. I think he's amazing. Obviously,
he's incredible. I mean, he gives me
he keeps me up at nights, you know, and the night before that we're supposed to play.
Yeah.
He really does, man. I mean, he's just that good. Let me see. Rookie of the year. A lot of people are going to say Genty, but I think he's going to kind of go the same way as all these other premier running backs, you know. So I think that Hampton actually has a really good shot.
Okay.
Oh,
You know?
okay, yeah.
You know, I mean, just because they're going to run the shit out of the
I
ball.
didn't think about that.
You know, I really think that they're going to run the ball hard and fast and in a hurry. And the jury's still out on whether or not Najee Harris is actually full speed.
He's supposed to travel with the team.
He's going to travel with the team, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Has anybody seen a picture of him? Does anybody know what his face looks like?
No, I haven't seen it.
Because
Is it
until
pretty-
I see otherwise, he's two-faced to me.
Oh, is it hamburger?
I don't know. Fireworks to the face.
So
I know, right? Supposedly he's missing an eye.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Cold-blooded.
The
Running back needs vision.
comeback player of the year, I got to go with Hutchinson on this one.
Comeback. Oh, I forgot about
Oh, we didn't do
comeback
no
player of the year.
comeback. All right.
Yeah.
You know, and then the coach of the year. Let's see here. I'm going to say Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel. Okay.
I think that he has the opportunity of actually
I
really
like it.
shaping up that team. So
I like that.
I do too. All right.
he's I think if anybody has a chance to resurrect a team from purgatory, it's him,
They got a lot of good
and he's got some pieces. So anyway, those are my picks.
Okay. So just to recap, you had Aiden Hutchinson as comeback player of the year?
Yep.
Okay. Rookie of the year, Omarion Hampton.
Yep.
Defensive player of the year, Max Crosby. Offensive player of the year, Jamar Chase. MVP, Joe Burrow. And coach of the year, Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
Okay.
Good choices, man.
All right.
I like it. Okay, Will Pig, what you got?
Okay, so most valuable player, I'm going with Lamar Jackson. I just think his dual threat numbers are ridiculous. So, and I think he kind of got robbed last year to a certain extent. Offensive player of the year, I'm going to go with Bijan as well. I think he's got that. And then defensive player of the year, Will Anderson from the Texans.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
And then coach of the year, this one, I'm 50-50. So it's between Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn from the Commanders.
Well, you got to choose one.
Well, dang, I don't know if I want to.
Choose one, mofo.
Hey, in this show, we stand by our convictions,
Yeah.
sir.
Just to be contrarian, I'll go with Dan Quinn for the Commanders.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah. What about comeback player of the year? Do you have anybody else? Okay. Niner Tony, what you got?
All right. Make this quick. Coach of the year, Liam Cohen. Keeping with my predictions, you know? So, Jacksonville, let's go. MVP, plus 1,800 or to plus 2,000 in Vegas for Jalen Hurts is disrespectful. I'm going Jalen Hurts MVP. Offensive player of the year, B. John. So that's kind of a common theme and thing, but it makes sense.
Oh, so that's why you were looking pissed off.
Yes, because everybody had my player of the year. Defensive player of the year, Jared Verse, the young beast from the Los Angeles Rams. I think he's going to be considered in a year or two with the names of like Hendrickson, Crosby. He's going to be that type of guy. And then rookie of the year, Jackson Dart.
Whoa.
Let's go.
I like it. I like
That's
it.
a bold
take,
take, that New
man.
York
All
smoke.
right, I love it.
I like
I
it.
see you. I
was your
see
coach
you.
of the year.
Okay.
I'm going to get so much shit next year from these fucking guys.
Hey, man. Hey, we locking this in. We locking this in, baby.
I'm holding it. Hey,
I
we're
like
not
it.
done. Wait till my upset special.
Oh, wait.
There's
Do you
a
have
theme going on here
So,
tonight.
do you have a
Do you have a
defensive
comeback?
player of the year and a comeback player of the year?
defensive player of the year was Jared Verse for him.
Oh, Jared Verse. Okay, I missed him. Sorry. Okay,
Comeback
comeback
player of the
player.
Coach of the year. Did you have coach?
Yeah, Liam Cohen.
If you don't go in, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Can't think of one on the top of my head, so I don't want to waste time.
That's all right. Okay, so mine, I do have Dan Campbell, but I would like to do some honorable mentions if that's okay.
Sure.
One I want to say is Pete Carroll as an honorable mention.
Ugh.
Nope.
If we make it to the playoffs, he should be able to.
Oh,
man, that's a huge.
Of course. Ben Johnson, if he can,
Oh, God.
the bar is set so low for Chicago. If he can get them to say 8 or 9 or 10 wins,
I swear.
the same.
Mm.
And then the last one I have is an honorable mention is Mike Tomlin. if he can get Karen Rodgers to
Oh,
get
he
to
was
the
on my
playoffs,
list. He was
'Cause
on my
think
list too.
Why
think
are
of
you
the-
trying to piss me off today?
just hold on, sir. Calm down. So if you look at last year, he was dealt chicken shit,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on.
So let me ask you this, and that's another side topic. If we have just a second, do you think that the predicament that the Steelers are in is a product of Tomlin or the GM?
The GM,
Okay.
100%, and they just extended the GM.
Oh man.
So, but I get your frustration, hater with facts, but that's just my honorable mentions.
All right.
MVP, I got Joey B. Now, I cannot mention Joey B as being the MVP as far as offensive player of the year, Jamar Chase. I mean, there's no way he's going to be MVP without getting Jamar Chase fed. Rookie of the year, I do have Dart. I'll lay enough on there. But my honorable mention is Genty. That's my honorable mention.
By the way, you can't be doing this honorable mention.
I don't
shit.
give a shit.
And
I'm
then
going to do it anyway.
at the end of the year saying,
Okay.
I called that shit.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, hell no.
I'm
We
not
don't
gonna do that.
No. Honorable mentions will not be recognized. At
You
the
know,
end.
I mean,
absolutely
Listen,
not.
let me tell you something. I don't give a rat's ass whether you consider it or not. This is my picks. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey.
And I will bring this shit up if they do make it like I called it.
They're bullshit.
And we will.
The Dart thing though,
we will throw a
you might
bullshit
be
flag
onto
on that.
something because I mean, if
Dude.
they actually turn it into if they come in second place
Yeah.
in that division,
Wait, was he
That's-
named the starter yet?
no, and that's just it.
That's almost
how
like-
long do you
that's
think
almost
that
like
Russell
picking a-
Wilson's actually
one
going to be
week-
in there?
That's almost like picking a team as a dark horse and then making them third in your
Oh,
division rankings.
Yeah,
I bet you Dart
Easy.
is.
Speak on it.
Easy
Speak on
over
it.
there. Easy.
Speak on it.
Easy.
I think that Dart starts by week 7.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's
I don't think
That's
he'll
who
get
it
enough
is.
games.
Russell Wilson, he's doo-doo
No.
butter.
you ready for my defensive player of the year?
Let's do it.
Oh boy.
Carter from the Giants.
Abdul Carter,
Defensive or
defensive player of the year.
Yep.
Hold up. Timeout.
I
Well, I
love
know
it.
you ain't gonna give me shit with that.
Hold
just
on.
to say it with conviction.
Wait a minute.
I'm
wait-
saying this shit with conviction, so I'm doing what you say. Now you won't give me some shit over it?
Well, just it's a contradiction of anything.
How's that a contradiction?
No. What I'm saying is if Abdul Carter is defensive player of the year, then he has to be rookie of the year. You can't give that to Jackson Dart.
No, because you know that's not how it goes. A defensive player is not
What?
going to win rookie of the year over a offensive player. It's happened in the past.
Okay.
It's not going to change.
I just want that on the record. So
that's my defensive player of the year and comeback
Okay.
player of the year. I do
All right,
have
dude,
Aiden
say it with your
Hutchinson.
chest.
Aiden Hutchinson is my comeback player of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
Not.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some other ones in there. I mean, JJ McCarthy could very well end up being
Shit.
that.
Yeah. That's that. I mean, yeah, you're right. That's
So
what I got.
who knows? I mean, what if he? It's not like he's in a shit offense. I'm sorry.
Did you say rookie of the year?
No, comeback player.
comeback player.
Oh no, yeah, actually that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
It's definitely considerable, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. But what are your thoughts on Carter though? Defense player. You think that's like a pie in the sky, or does he have a legit chance?
Well, I love it because if he is, then the Giants definitely are good.
Yeah.
Like they're definitely good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Especially with that front seven, man. Anyway, okay, that's what I got. So what's
Oh, you
What's
guys are gonna
next?
crush me so bad over this.
Well, yeah, Larry's not here Monster's not here to give his pick. So,
okay.
so I think.
So you gonna do predictions?
Oh yeah, so I guess we can transition to the fantasy front
yes.
for week 1
Yes.
and our stud pick and dud picks
And upset specials?
and upset specials. Yes,
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on, we got
Yep.
19 minutes.
All right.
Lead us off.
Hold on.
Don't worry.
Actually, okay. So a segment we want to do each week is a fantasy sleeper and a fantasy dud, right? Just a fantasy player for each, and then we're gonna pick an upset special for like game of the week, whatever. I'll start out this week. My sleeper fantasy player of the week is. I'm gonna follow the Vegas line, and I'm the highest over under of the weekend is Baltimore Buffalo at 50.5. Right, so I'm gonna go somewhere there. Baltimore is always kind of like you never know what they're gonna do with their skill position players, right? You never know who's gonna break out. So my sleeper of the week is Rashad Bateman.
I actually
That's your
like
breakout.
That's my sleeper of the week.
I actually like that.
I hope so. He's on my team.
Well, start him.
I actually like that.
Well, it could be. I mean,
I like that a lot, actually.
do you think that Lamar Jackson's actually going to adjust his game to accommodate wide receivers at some point?
Look, he does. The problem is you can never predict it. What happened last year, week 1?
True.
Isaiah likely caught 2 touchdowns. He had a monster game, right?
Yep.
But that could easily be anybody on that offense, which is why I like, especially, okay, you got the highest over-under on the weekend, 50.5. So you should always be looking at that game anyway, right? Why not Rashad Bateman? Of course I can say Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews, but that's not a sleeper.
That's not a bad choice, just because, he's the biggest boomer bust that I can think of, man.
What?
My God.
What about Hampton?
What about
Who?
Hampton? He said what he said.
What about Hampton?
That's my sleeper. Okay.
Yeah, it's his choice.
Let me move on to my dud.
Just ask.
Let me move on to my dud. You're
All right.
limiting us time here.
Let's go.
Fucking Jay.
Let's go.
My dud is another wide receiver he has a rookie quarterback facing one of the toughest secondaries and one of the best cornerbacks, maybe the best cornerback in the league. I like him this year. I drafted him on a best ball, but Calvin Ridley will not produce like you want this week. That is my fantasy dud. Calvin Ridley. Sorry for all you owners who have to start him.
I have A.J. Brown as a dud.
Ooh, big one.
Yeah.
Go, Jay.
Yeah. I have A.J. Brown just because I think that Dallas, since they have no rush, they're going to focus on one person, which would be A.J. Brown. They don't care if Saquon Barkley runs over him because they're not going to be able to stop him. Well, maybe with Clark. Maybe. I mean, he is known as a run stopper. But, yeah, I see A.J. Brown probably catching like 3 balls for 60 yards.
Whoa.
Maybe a touchdown.
Whoa. And they may not have to throw a
But
lot,
he's going to have
right?
at least 8 targets for sure. But that's mine. What about y'all?
Okay, well, you didn't give your sleeper of the week.
Oh, sleeper of the week. No, I agree with that. I like that.
Oh, Rashad Bateman?
Yeah, that's way better than what I had.
Okay.
So I definitely agree with that.
All right, well, I'll go. My sleeper of the week, we already talked about this game. And again, this is not just because I love the Detroit Lions, but Jameson Williams will be the sleeper of this week.
J-Mo,
yes, sir. The idea that a secondary that is already not up to par and you have a converted wide receiver playing corner and you have to deal with
barbecue chicken.
Yeah. You have to deal with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, the potential of Jahmyr Gibbs lining up at the wide receiver spot, and Jameson Williams. Yeah, line it up.
Yeah.
Jameson
I like
Williams,
that
baby.
too.
And my dud of the week, people are gonna be mad. They're gonna go to the fantasy couch because this dude has yet to show his true potential, and I don't think it'll start well, even though they're playing in a favorable matchup. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh.
Metro Bus Marv. I believe.
Spoken like a true Michigan fan,
know, right?
This ain't got nothing to do with Ohio State or nothing. I just feel like it's because
Sure.
it's because Kyler Murray cannot be trusted. It has not. Like there's some things about Marvin Harrison too, but 85% of it is due to the height of Kyler Murray, and he can't find him, and he will lean to his habits, which is to find Trey McBride at all costs. So it'll come at the expense of Marvin Harrison Jr. So people will start him, and they'll be highly disappointed, and they're going to try to figure out what in the hell are we going to do.
Got it. All right, cool. Good. Go ahead, Will Pig.
All right, mine is simple. Offensive sleeper, Mike Evans.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Walk me through that.
He's going against an Atlanta secondary, so I just think that he's going to have a good game. Especially, I'm a big fan of the Buccaneers this year. They were my dark horse.
What stats you think he's going to end up with? Numbers.
I don't
Think he's going to get a tutty?
Yeah.
2?
Maybe.
Well, the mere
60?
fact is the start of the year, and he's healthy, so
Yeah.
that helps.
80
again,
plus?
it's against the
80 plus
Atlanta
yards?
secondary.
So one
So-
thing
Okay.
about Mike Evans that people don't give him credit for, I mean, the man, he's Mr. 1,000 for a reason.
Yeah.
Every single year he's been in the league.
No matter who the quarterback.
Every single year
Yeah.
he's gotten 1,000 yards.
All right. What else you got? Sorry, I cut you off.
My dud, and don't jump on me, hater, but I think it's going to be Jared Goff.
Oh.
Now, again, I think the Lions are going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. So I don't know how well Jared Goff's going to do as far as fantasy points go. So
Okay,
Damn.
that's fair. All right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Angry Joey.
Okay, so my sleeper, now 3-4 years ago, this wouldn't have been a sleeper at all, but as of right now, talking about a 31-year-old man, and that would be Devontae Adams. I have a feeling he's gonna, because he's a target machine.
That's if Stafford
If Stafford
finishes the
can,
game.
yeah, I this being game one, I think he's gonna finish the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's a sleeper. If you ask me in week 7, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And besides, he's also, next to Puka. So Puka, he's going to open up the windows a little bit. I think that Puka's probably going to be he's going to get his, but I actually think that Devontae, he's going to a quality team for a change. No offense there, Jay. But anyway, he's actually going to
I hate McDaniels, so it's okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how well he meshes with everything else.
Pick.
My dud, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat thrown at me this way, but I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes is actually going to, because let's remember last year. I think that there was. I think that the Eagles actually made wise to people, as to how to actually beat Kansas City. And there's teams that are, especially in the AFC West, that are hungry. Chargers being one of them. And one of the things that Harbaugh is known for is putting together a great defense and a hell of a good running attack. That's his game. So he's going to slow the game down, and that does not suit Mahomes well. So that's just, so I think that he's going to get numbers, don't get me wrong, but here's another thing. Mahomes is not used to actually having the lack of talent that he has now. Yes, he has Rashee Rice, but he's no Tariq Hill.
Not for 6 weeks.
No, not for 6 weeks. He's suspended.
Oh yeah, that's right. But so he's not going to have him this week. So then who does he have? Really? Kelsey. Really?
Yeah.
X-worthy though.
And not only that, but a lot of people don't seem to remember last year, it was the defense that got them to the game and the refs.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
No,
No,
dude, you were.
you're not.
I was hot watching that game because of the shit that he was
They
doing.
didn't
They
score a lot
actually-
of points.
He got some points or whatever, but
Yeah. The NFL wanted his ass to get there.
yeah. So anyway, I think that people are starting to figure him out. So those are my takes.
Wow.
Pretty good. Okay,
All right.
cool. Anything else on any of that? Any other go backs on any of that stuff?
Some good stuff.
Okay, let's take away with the next one then. Next one is a upset special.
As far as games,
It's whatever
NFL
Niner
upset
Tony.
special of the week.
Let's go.
All right, I'm going to start this off for the theme of the pod. The New York Football Giants going into Washington and beating the Commanders.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
7.5 point underdogs.
Okay. Beat Commanders.
At least bet them. At least take the points. And,
dang, I
and
think
hope
you just
for a
stole
win
my
there,
thunder,
guys.
buddy.
Get out.
That's one of the ones that I was looking at. I really do.
So-
As far as
so-
upsets are concerned.
And just so we're clear, you're picking them to win the game outright.
We're not
Not
messing around.
cover,
We're just
right?
we're not messing around. We're gonna go outright.
Full win.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already gave mine. It was the Seahawks over the 49ers.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Let's keep it moving this way around. So what do you got, Hater with Facts?
Okay. So, man, oh, good. I'm just taking, you know what? I'm not doing homer picks right now.
We can
But-
come back to you if you need another minute.
Lines, man.
Nope, I will not. Instead, I am going to take, you know what? Since everybody wants to be hyped up about Baltimore, they are underdogs at Buffalo. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens here.
Mm.
Upset of the week.
Okay. Angry Joey.
Like I just said, I'm kind of siding with Tony on this one. I was actually thinking the same exact thing. If there was ever to be an upset to be had, and the Giants, you made one hell of an argument about, the Giants defense and how that's going to keep them in the game. The thing that's going to screw them, though, is their quarterback play. If they can't get their offense to meshing and stuff like that, and here's the other thing, Jaden Daniels. We talked on another podcast about the so-called sophomore slump. Okay. And everybody was sitting there talking. That was the biggest knock against the Broncos and Bo Nix. And doesn't the same apply to Jaden Daniels? I would think that it would play even more so. And the reason being
CJ
is because, I
Stroud.
mean, Nix, he actually has more football, a lot more football. And not only that, I'm not saying that Jaden Daniels is stupid by any stretch, but his game is athleticism. You know,
I slightly disagree on that, but go ahead.
I mean, he's smart. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, I mean, but I think Nix, he's more of a cerebral and athletic quarterback. So I think that if there's anybody that is actually more susceptible to the sophomore slump, it's going to be Jaden Daniels.
Okay, I like it. You know what? Fuck it, I'm calling an audible. I was gonna do that as well, but you know what? Let me throw some shit out there. Upset for me. Chicago Bears beats the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, I love it.
Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and put my dick out there. It's big enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Chicago Bears again over the Minnesota Vikings by a last-second field goal.
Based on what? What do you justify? I got to hear the justification in this one.
So,
Or are you just shooting from the hip?
I'm shooting for the hip on this one just because I wanted to be fucking different. But I will say this: I do believe in Ben Johnson's offensive philosophy. I saw what he did for the Lions. I hate Caleb Williams, but I think if he can turn him around and just not throw the fucking ball over, and there were some signs there. The defense is underrated. Chicago's defense is underrated. And the Vikings have a solid defensive plan as well as Flores. Flores is still their DC, right?
Yes, he is.
And he's going to make Caleb look bad. So I think it's going to come. I think it's going to be like 17-14, something like that, or 10-9, something like that. Chicago.
So, okay. So again, I have to ask you. So are you taking them outright, or are you just saying you're just taking the points? Which one?
I'm taking them outright. I'll just take them outright.
Okay.
We're doing outright every
Outright.
week.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just take them outright.
Okay.
And I look, I'm a fan of JJ McCarthy. I think he's great, but coming back, he's still a rookie in my mind, and they're gonna have something for him.
You're right. That's also a good point. You know, because even Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix started off hot, and this is McCarthy's rookie year. He's never tasted NFL.
Right. So that's what.
So
Again, it was just I could have went with the status quo because I did have written down here Giants. I got New York Giants over Commanders, but screw it. Let's just do let's get wild. Let's get weird.
What? That's less weird than the Giants over the Commanders.
You think so?
Like Giants over the Commanders is crazy. That's 7.5. Like Vegas does not like the Giants.
All right. Well, so gentlemen, we have about 6.5, 7 minutes left. Usually at this time, what we like to do. First of all, is there anything else? Any other topics that wasn't covered? Any go backs on anything? What you got? No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Hader, like I'm surprised that the Bears-Vikings game didn't show up as one of the top games of the weekend. I don't know. I'm really excited for that game Monday night. I don't know.
I'm too.
We don't need to spend a lot of time on just saying I'm surprised.
I'm sorry, now, Tony.
I'm excited.
You have some suggesting bets for our audience out there? Like maybe 2 or 3 bets they should place?
Jay, not this week, but I think we will implement a segment this year. Every week we'll go over a couple, maybe line bets, definitely some prop bets. So look for that next week. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take this time. We're going to do either an Alamo Minute where we give a shout out to a local business, company, person, or national, doesn't matter, and a Kiss My Grits, somebody that deserves to kiss your grits, basically, to get on your nerves. So I'm going to pass it over to my left. Angry Joey, you lead us off.
Okay, so I actually have 2 Alamo Minutes, if I may.
Go for it.
Okay, so I know that earlier in this segment, we actually talked about the Cowboys and the Parsons trade and so on and so forth, and how I actually felt sorry for the Cowboy fans. Who I don't feel sorry for is Jerry Jones. So he actually reminds me of a more modern-day Al Davis. As long as Al Davis was around, I mean, he just, he gave me joy. Because every day, he was there to fuck things up for at least a little bit, and I think that Jerry Jones is actually, kind of doing the same thing to a team that I don't really care for, so that, I want to give an Alamo Minute to Jerry Jones.
Wow.
And a straight bullet to me, but that's okay.
Hey, man, if I could hit 2 birds with 1 stone. But anyway, my next Alamo Minute, and it's to a restaurant that my wife and I really, really like to go to out in the Helotes area. It's called the Gray Moss Inn, and it's one of the finest Mexican restaurants I have ever been to. Yep. And for the first time, it was the week before last, my wife and I, we went there for their breakfast. my goodness, they give you so much food. It's unbelievable, but and top quality stuff. And then in the afternoons or for brunch or especially for dinner, they actually do have one of the best margaritas I've ever had in my entire life.
Awesome.
They actually make it with no joke, jalapeno. So it's sweet, but it has a kick to it at the same time. It's literally one of the best margaritas I've ever had. So I'd like to
Fantastic.
give them, and here's the other thing about this restaurant. It used to be, before COVID, it was a German restaurant for almost a century. It was there. This thing was built a long time ago. And when COVID happened, unfortunately, the business went out. Okay. And it was bought up and it was actually converted into a Mexican restaurant and one of the best I've ever had. So I want to give a shout out to the Grey Moss Inn.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay. Hater with facts?
Woo! ESPN.
Oh.
We're going to need you to come down to the congregation because Scott Hansen, who is the host of NFL Red Zone this year, announced today that NFL Red Zone will include commercials.
Got the fuck out of here. No!
No.
Be
Only on
commercial
ESPN,
free.
though.
I'm just saying.
Are you serious?
The man was on Pat McAfee today, and he made the announcement today that he says, quote, in some capacity, NFL Red Zone will have commercials. Now,
That's bullshit.
I don't
dude.
know how
Fuck
to
that.
what
I'm
it
getting
looks like.
Sunday
Hopefully a little
ticket.
pip in the
I
corner.
don't give a damn. The mere fact that ESPN has now taken something that was so good for everybody and have completely and utterly ruined it for an extra 10 cents.
Jeez.
Unbelievable.
That's just trash,
Mickey
dude.
Mouse, ESPN, please kiss my grits, you greedy motherfuckers.
Well, looks like we're never going on ESPN if we ever get
I'm 86 in Disney right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get
that's
home and
fucked
I'm
up.
going to kill my NFL Plus
Yeah,
too.
man. That's fucked
Fuck
up.
those guys.
I'm
man.
getting
That's-
Sunday
that's-
ticket. Fuck that.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
That's upsetting. That's upsetting.
I tried to tell y'all. I told you.
This is the bit that you was telling me we were going to
Yes.
You succeeded.
This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
Mhm.
Okay, if they do something like in the right hand corner where it's
Yeah,
muted,
Pip in the left hand.
If
you
it's
know,
picture
if it
in
was a
picture,
if it's
that's
fucking
fine.
muted, okay. But if they if the commercial sound overplays the football,
you can't
no.
because we'll all be behind. You
Yeah.
can't do it. It takes away everything it's good about. Like
It's bullshit, man.
You're absolutely right. Because I mean, what is it? It's constantly circulating, right? I mean, it's constantly showing.
All right, Woo Pig, what you got?
I just have one shout out to legendary player, coach, and college football analyst Lee Corso. He retired week 1. They had, I think they're gonna say when he made his last prediction, he had over 5 million people watching him. So the dude's a legend. He helped make what college football is, especially on that show. So
Agree.
I think it was well timed for him to retire, but he will be missed. So.
that was a going would be.
What you got, Niner Tony?
All right, I got a kiss my grits. I got to kiss my grits to all these fucking Arch Manning haters after week 1 going into Ohio State playing probably the best secondary in the country. Give the kid a chance. In 10 weeks, we won't even remember this game. It's trash.
I love it. All right. Well, so I have an Alamo minute as well as a kiss my grits. Let's start with the kiss my grits. Dabu Swinney. Kiss my grits. I think you were watching a different game. You can't give LSU he gave him a 65 and Clemson a 58. He said talking about if they were grading papers. Basically, Dabu was spinning it as where LSU is not that good. Yeah, you got to see his press conference. Did you see that, Woo Pig? What he said?
I did not. I did not.
Yeah. Just I'll reserve the rest I'm going to say until you get a chance to see that. And what Dabu did was salty. You kiss my grits. Alamo minute. I want to shout out to a local veterinary clinic. It's the emergency vet clinic that took care of my dog in an emergency situation. They handled it excellent. Kept the communication going. Really cared about my dog. Like really, because a lot of these places out here, you're just a number. Hey, give me this money and I'll do this on them. They did a couple things for free for her, like radiology, which is expensive, because they already did it once and they did it again. So a quick little shout out to them for their special treatment as well as for working with us while my wife and I were in Cancun. They watched her for 2 nights and didn't charge us for either of those nights.
That's
Oh,
what's up.
awesome.
So they're
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. Anybody that we've mentioned from a local business way is not a sponsor, but we do have openings for sponsorship. Okay, next show we're going to do a shout out, but I do want to do an update for everybody that has joined us on this journey as far as some stats goes. Right now we have 138 plays and we've only been on Apple. I'm talking about Apple now. We've only been on Apple for what, 2 weeks, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So
Soon to be on YouTube. And we have
That's great.
started a Discord channel.
that's correct. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for giving us an opportunity and a chance to listen to us, to do our shenanigans, talk our shit, and talk some sports. Without further ado, Angry Joe, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Andrew
Good to go.
Facts, you got anything else?
Just please like, subscribe, and please review.
There it is.
We accept all critiques
There it is.
and love.
Whooping Sue, anything else?
Blue Pig.
Angry
Tony's
Tone.
hot takes.
Yeah. All right. Take care and thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like and
Subscribe.